Hello, welcome. My name is Jaylyn, and this is a gentle and nourishing yoga practice to hopefully help you relieve any premenstrual tension within in any form that it's taking. So before we dive right into it, all that you'll need for this practice is a little bit of space and maybe a yoga mat or a blanket to practice on, a big pillow to use as support, a couple of folded blankets will work just as well, and maybe a little bit of empty wall space, or if you're near a couch or something, you can also use a couch. We're just going to prop our legs up at the end of our practice. So if you need to pause the video for a moment and just get yourself situated, take your time. Maybe you want to put an essential oil on or a nice lamp or anything really that would help you to feel really cozy and that would be pleasing to you. And when you're ready, I'll meet you down on our backs. We're going to begin lying down, and let's have that pillow handy. Just place it in front of you horizontally, and you're going to lay your legs over the pillow so that the backs of your knees are resting and your heels could be grounded. And then you'll roll back and just lie down on your back and sensing the heels grounded, the back of your legs supported, back of your pelvis grounded, and the two shoulder blades and the back of your head. And in these places where you're touching the support beneath you, let's start to invite a sense of surrender, releasing the weight of your body a little bit more down into the ground. Then you'll tune in and just see where your hands would love to land. Maybe they'll rest on your lower belly, feeling the softness of the belly and the breath moving. Maybe one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest, on your heart. Maybe the arms would like to open up and the hands open up to relieve a bit of tension from the shoulders. Just see what feels most pleasing to you and really trust what comes up. Trust what you notice. And we're just settling down here and just feeling how settled the body loves to be. Oftentimes, premenstrual tension is just a call for a little more rest, to meet some unmet needs, to give a little space for how we're feeling. So that's all this practice is about, just offering a little space to feel our body, to feel what is present, and also to nourish and really gently tend to ourselves on all levels. So welcoming all of you here, all of you is welcome. Every bone, every drop of blood, every thought, every sensation, all is welcome. Let's just start with a really simple breath practice. to help us release any tension within and send it out to the space around us. So you'll breathe in through your nose. And as you breathe out, you'll make a little circle with your lips as if you're putting your lips around a straw, and exhale slowly through the hole in your lips. And that's the whole thing. So breathing in full and deep, and breathing out through that little straw hole. Breath leaves you slowly. As you inhale, gathering up, and breathing out. Slow and soft. You could imagine that as you're inhaling, you're gathering any tension, any density from within. And as you exhale, you're sending it out to be released. Maybe seeing the breath going out as a different color or texture. And just noticing, how does your inner landscape, how does it respond to this breath? Can you sense maybe a bit more space within? Or maybe sensing yourself softening a bit around the breath. Maybe just appreciating having something really simple to focus on, to steady your mind. So now let's close the lips and take a few breaths in and out through our nose, if possible. Noticing our inner environment. After having released some excess tension, some excess noise, there could be a little more space to simply feel the body, to feel the sensations, maybe one, maybe many. Knowing that there is a great wisdom to how you're feeling. We're not here to change or fix you or how you're feeling. We're here to offer space, to allow, to soften around, and to listen. So anytime you feel any tension, perhaps building up again throughout the practice. You are so free to practice that slow exhale through the little hole in the mouth. Or maybe you'll breathe in and out through the nose for your practice. And if you'd like to just stay here, laying down, drifting away, by all means, if that's what you need, you are so free to do that. If you'd like to come into some nourishing movements with me, let's bring our hands now, if they're not already, resting on our lower belly, our front pelvic bones, and just starting to ground awareness down in the pelvic bowl, softening through the belly, bringing awareness just beneath our palms and through our legs, all the way through to the ankles and the feet. Nice and slow, you can just start to windshield wiper the feet in and out, rolling the toes towards each other and away. Bringing some really small movements to our legs. Starting to wake up through the feet. And now point your toes straight up towards the ceiling. And then pull your toes back towards your face so your heels press away. And then opposite, you're going to point the toes away from your face so the heels tuck in and the tops of the ankles stretch. So just like that, pulling the toes towards you and pointing the toes away from your face. And let's breathe with this movement, make it kind of meditative. So inhaling, you pull the toes towards your face. Maybe spreading the toes, exhaling, pointing the toes away, give them a little curl as you stretch the tops of your feet. So with your breath, nice and easy. We're just giving the feet a little love, tending to our ankle joints, all those little bones in our feet that carry us. So the next time you point your toes, we're going to start to circle the ankles. So rolling the toes around towards your face, over to the left, and forward away from you. So drawing circles with your toes. Really starting the movement from your ankles. You might hear some pops or cracks. That's all good. And let's do both directions. Keeping your heels grounded, just rolling the toes. Inhaling towards the face, exhaling away. Take your time. And beautiful. And then just relax the feet. Maybe you want to shake them out. And then we're going to bend the knees and we'll plant the feet right on the floor for a moment, just beneath the knees. So gently pressing the feet down into the floor. Feeling the back of your pelvic bowl also grounding. Shoulder blades, back of head. And just feeling the strength of the legs. Breathing nice and soft through your belly. And let's do a few gentle pelvic tilts. So first you're going to rock your pelvic bowl back and press your lower back into the ground so your whole back body is touching the ground beneath. And then you'll rock your pelvic bowl away from your face so the back arches away from the floor and you roll towards your tailbone. So just like that, rocking back, closing the space, belly scoops in, and rocking forward, belly stretches, feet stay grounded. And just see how these movements, how you respond. And let your breath flow with the movements so that as you exhale, you're rocking back, closing that space. As you inhale, you're rocking forward, opening up the belly. Bringing some nourishing movement into the pelvic bowl as we ground through legs and feet. And the next time you're rocking back, you can lift your feet right up and bring your knees in towards your chest and give yourself a little hug. Nice hug. And then we're going to roll over onto one side. Feel free to pause here for a breath before pressing yourself all the way up and coming into a seated position. We can take our time here to just check in and see that we're still connected to our bodies. Energy and awareness flowing downward, keeping our awareness in our lower bellies, our pelvic bowl, our legs, and our feet. Okay, so this next little sequence is to help us relieve any congestion through the pelvic bowl, to really get energy and blood flowing really well through the pelvic bowl and our hips. So let's start with the right foot forward, the right leg forward. So you bring your right shin just in front of you. And then your left shin's going to tuck back. And the left foot is going to curl around and kind of hug the outer edge of your bum and your hip. Okay? So this is a mermaid seat. And it's totally natural for you to feel a little lopsided here. So we're sitting on the right side and the left side is lifted. The left side is free to move. Now if this feels way too uncomfortable, feel free to sit on that pillow or blanket or to skip this whole sequence and maybe just stretch the left leg forward. If the left leg is stretching forward, you can always work on folding over it and opening up the back of that leg. If you're here with me, we'll keep this foot connected to our left leg. And we're just going to start bringing some fluid movements through the pelvis, through the hips. So I'd suggest that you actually hold your lower belly. And just like we were doing a moment ago on our backs, we're just going to rock our pelvis forward and back, sitting right on that right side. The left side is free to move in all directions. We're really working on flowing back and rolling the pelvis under and rolling forward, rolling the pelvis back behind us. And once you get the hang of it, there's no right or wrong way to do this. And once you feel like you're kind of in a rhythm with your own hips, your belly, you can start to bring the breath into rhythm with your movement. So exhaling as the pelvis tucks under and the belly draws in, and inhaling as the pelvis rolls back and the heart and the belly open. Maybe through the nose, maybe through the nose, out through the mouth. And we're just listening in. Tending to our hips, tending to our bowl. Beautiful. So maybe 1 or 2 more breaths like that. As small or as large as you like. And then just find your way into a center place. We're going to press into the ground with this left shin. So press, press, press. Start to squeeze your left bum in as your pelvis and your belly and then your chest turn to the right. You can use your hands to brace you, to keep you supported. And then coming back into the center. So we'll do that a few times. Press your shin into the ground as you gently turn and twist, coming back. So we're going to exhale as we twist. Inhale as we spiral back. No need to rush. The premenstrual phase really calls us to slow the pace, to really feel the life within, the richness of our minds and our bodies, to start developing a sense of intimacy with ourselves. Beautiful. So the next time you're back into your center place, we're going to walk the hands forward just to lift ourselves up onto all fours. And I'm going to flip around here so you can see for a moment on all fours. Just take a couple of breaths to maybe sway the hips side to side. Stretch the legs back. Anything that helps you to relieve from that. Beautiful. And from all fours, hands and knees, let's curl the toes under. And just take a quick seat back on our heels. Stretch the feet open. Maybe let the head bow down. And we'll come up and we'll do that same thing on the other side. So swinging your left shin forward now. And if you're doing the other option, you can have your right leg stretched and you're folding over it. It's a beautiful option to help you open up your back body. Or you're bending the right knee and tucking the shin nice and close. Right foot curls around your bum. And we're seated on the left side. Taking a moment to arrive, to feel any differences between sides. And when you're ready, starting to bring those nice fluid, wave-like movements through the pelvic bowl and the belly. And these movements can be as slow or as large as you like. Exhaling as you rock back, inhaling as you rock forward. And if you haven't already, maybe try closing your eyes if that feels comfortable and really feeling into this. Letting each movement flow into the next. We bring a sense of rhythm and flow back into our pelvic bowl. And when you're ready, coming back into the center with it. We're going to press that right shin into the floor. Squeeze the right bum as our upper body starts to turn to the left. And inhaling to return. Exhaling to spiral out and around. Inhale to return. So this is the way we move through our cycle, isn't it? From menstruation, we spiral out and up, and then we spiral back in. So the premenstrual time is that turn back in. And we're heeding the call. We're welcoming that inner call to turn in towards ourselves. To start slowing the pace. Beautiful. Maybe one more like this. And as you're finished, walking your hands forward. Again, coming onto all fours. And just some nice hip sways could really relieve you. Maybe stretching the legs back, opening the knees. Nice. And now from our all fours, let's open up our back and start to soften through that central nervous system. So from your all fours, grounding through the palms, start to press the palms through the ground, feeling that strength traveling up the arms as the shoulder blades spread and your head can just fall. And then drawing the shoulder blades back towards each other, you gently arch the upper back, opening the heart, the throat. So just a few like that. Breathing out, rounding the upper back. And breathing in, we arch the upper back, stretching the front. Now whatever pace feels really supportive. Starting to tune into the fluidity of our upper back now. Beautiful. And then coming back into neutral. So right in the middle, you'll walk your hands slightly more forward, just in front of your shoulders. Curl your toes under, and when you're ready, lift your knees, stretch your legs, and make this inverted V position or downward facing dog. So all the limbs stretch out, the arms, the legs, even the fingers and the toes. Everything gets super long, and the head just gets to hang towards the floor. So starting to tune into how you ground into your hands and your feet, and how you welcome that sense of support through your connection to the ground to help you find a little more space, maybe swaying the hips as space opens up through the rib cage and the spine. Beautiful. And now walk your feet a little more forward. Let's see if we can get those heels down on the ground as our hands walk back. And now with slightly bent knees and really strong legs, we'll start to roll up to stand, tucking our hips under as our shoulders roll back over our hips, coming to stand tall. We're going to roll down a few times to further open up and soften through our back. So take a nice deep breath in here at the top. And as you breathe out, you'll curl the chin towards the chest. Start to roll forward with heavy arms and a heavy head. Coming down as far as you can. Taking a nice breath in there. And again, pressing into the feet, rolling up, tucking hips under as the shoulders roll back. And a few more times at your own pace. Coming forward as you roll down. Feel the gravity of your arms and your neck and your head. And rolling back up, feel your legs strong and rooted. Maybe one more like that. And this time as you roll down, we're going to hold here. You can either let the hands just hang heavy, or maybe hold opposite elbows. Maybe hold the legs for a little more support. We just want to allow the spine to kind of cascade over our legs. The spine completely releases, maybe a little bit at a time, maybe all at once. But in our own time, we start to Release some tension from the back, and even letting any excessive thoughts start to roll out of the head. And you can gently sway side to side if you like, opening up the armpits, the sides of your waist, finding a little more space. And then release your hands if they're holding on to something. And we're just going to start to bend our knees. We're going to do this slowly. Bend our knees, bring our seat back as you start to bring your chest onto your thighs and reach your arms forward. And just see how slowly you can come all the way down onto your bum. And of course, use your hands if you need to for support. So once you've come down onto your bum, we're gonna scooch our bums forward, open up our knees, bring the soles of our feet together. And it might be nice to give the feet a little massage, pressing the thumbs into the arches, tending to those feet as we've been tending to a lot of our joints and our inner being in this class. So now a couple of options for you. If you'd like to listen in and just see what resonates as you massage your little feet. So maybe from this position, maybe you'll just come to lie down on your back and take what I call a seed pose, or some call it like a reclined goddess pose. Just letting the knees fall open, resting hands on the belly, shoulder blades grounded, back of head grounded. Okay, so this is option one. This option here could be really good for you if you feel there's a lot of tension in your pelvic bowl, and you can be in this shape to help you soften through your belly as you breathe and work on softening all the way through your root. So all the way through the muscles in the pelvis. And in this shape here too, you can place a hand on your heart and just start to tune into your heart energies as you open up through your hips. Okay, so this is nice and receptive and nourishing. Option two, if you have sometimes difficulty sleeping in your premenstrual phase, my suggestion is that you find a little bit of wall space or couch space, either will do, and you'll come to sit right up against that wall or couch and swing your legs up so that they are supported. They might be bent on the front of the couch, but swing the legs up so that they're resting as the highest part of your body. And do make sure that as you lie back, your spine is reaching out straight from your support. So this is option two, legs up the wall to start draining out any restless energy out of our legs, bringing some fresh blood and energy into our legs and our feet. And in this position too, you can ground your palms somewhere over your lower belly, maybe one hand over your heart. Just start tuning in. So while you're in one of those positions, you can close your eyes if you like, and I'm just going to sit up so that I can better guide you. So just settling into this place, however you are. Maybe taking a few deeper breaths and softening through the belly, softening through the root of our pelvic bowl. And don't worry if that softening isn't quite happening or is not quite accessible to you. Again, there's no right or wrong way to be here. So long as you're breathing, just feeling the body. And as you rest here, perhaps you'd like to just drift off in your mind, not really focusing on anything in particular, just drifting and dreaming. Your mind has full permission to not pay close attention, but instead to soften and let go. Perhaps you'll take this momentless moment, quiet moment, to reflect on the cycle that is now closing. Maybe there's something about this past cycle that you'd like to process, to be with. An old memory or something that you're really celebrating. Perhaps there are some themes to this cycle, some reoccurring feelings or experiences that you'd like to integrate. Holding those themes in your body, you start to really harvest the wisdom that's been gained. And so whether you're drifting, or you're processing, or you're reflecting, or you're just feeling, we are preparing for menstruation. By holding the space to really honor our place in the cycle. So hold a quiet moment for this. But you're so free to remain just as you are, to continue feeling and reflecting. Maybe taking a few deeper breaths now. And as you exhale, letting go of anything that lingers. Coming back to the space around you. Hearing all of the sounds that can be heard. Feeling the ground beneath your body. If your legs are up on the wall or the couch, just start to bend your knees back in towards your chest. And if your knees are open, start to bring them back together and in towards your chest. No matter where you are, maybe rolling onto one side. If you're ready to come up and out, rolling onto your side. And taking your time to find your way back into a comfortable seat. You can sit on your heels if possible. You can also sit on a blanket or a pillow for a little more support. And we'll seal this practice off together just by bringing our hands to our heart, bowing our head towards our own heart. We honor that inner teacher, which is our heart, giving our hearts full permission to take up space in this being. We can slide our hands down our bellies to rest over our womb space, taking a moment to honor our womb space and all that is present within this body. And then you can make your way all the way forward and down, bowing your head right on the ground, or maybe on your hands, grounding that thinking mind, curling in. A little gesture of humility and surrender. Child's pose. So our practice together is now officially complete. And I thank you so much for spending this time with me. If you loved this practice, do check out my website, innerswim.com, where I have more in-depth, full-length practices available and also one-on-one sessions to do deeper work, through your cycle, in yoga, whatever you might need. So I bow to you. Jema, power to that creative force that is seated within you, me, and all beings. I'll see you next time.